Hi, and welcome to this Astrology Weekly on quantumhealers.com. My name is Patricia Grootjans. I'm a quantum healer and astrologer. And this week we're going to look at week 31, which goes from July 28 until August 3. So let's have a look what this week has in store for us. Here we have the chart of this week, which starts at July 28. Remember that we are still in the Lionsgate portal, which runs from July 28th until August 12th. And this is a portal because this is a time of the year where there's a strong alignment between the Sun, the Earth, and Sirius, which reminds us of our galactic heritage. And I've talked about Sirius being a symbol for Isis, the Egyptian goddess. And I feel that this week the goddess plays another important role in a very different way. Because on July 31, we can see that Venus will enter the sign of Cancer. Venus being the goddess of love, fertility, beauty, will enter the energy of Cancer, which has the mother, divine mother energy. So this brings up an energy of the divine mother. And the divine mother is associated with nutrition, of course. And isn't it wonderful that one day after Venus entering the sign of Cancer, we have the celebration of a Lughnasad, or Lammas, what they call it, the Celtic Harvest Festival, which is celebrated on August 1. And oftentimes it is celebrated the evening before August 1. So this would be on July 31. So at the same day as Venus enters Cancer. Now, Lammas is the celebration of the god of light and the god of abundance. So it's as if there's a unity, like a sacred marriage between the goddess of nutrition or fertility, abundance, with the god of light and abundance. As if the divine feminine and masculine are bringing together their life force energy to create new life. And this is being celebrated and symbolized by the harvest, of course, when the grains are being harvested and the seeds are being the promise for the new um, um, season of growth and wealth and nutrition. So this is very much a week of balancing the balance between receiving and giving, and being grateful to celebrate the gratitude for all the abundance in our life. And even if we don't experience abundance in our life, we could attract abundance by just being grateful for everything that we have and what we do have. And I think being alive itself is something to celebrate, being grateful for, because it is our expression of the life force energy. We all are an expression of the life force energy that runs through our veins. And it runs through our veins through the blood and the water. So water carries the life force energy, and this is something that we can see when Venus is entering the sign of Cancer, Cancer being a water element sign. So this is a reminder of how life is created from water, being carried by water. And water also carries photons and light particles. So the divine essence is being reflected by water, and it is within us as it is outside of us. And as we are going through this week where Venus is in the sign of Cancer, it may be that we encounter certain themes in our life related to motherhood, and this could be related to our own mother. It could be related to our own role as a mother or caregiver. And it could also be related to society. What is our role in society? Is there a role that we have where we are on the receiving end or the giving end? Is there a balance between receiving and giving in our life. And because this is also the celebration of the harvest, this is also about maturing and maturing in our emotional need to give and receive love. And so this may be a good week to look at our inner child and to see where we feel that we may need some emotional nutrition, or where we are able to share all the abundance of emotional nutrition, and to take care of our emotions in a creative way, because Venus, of course, is a planet of self-expression by beauty and art. So this could also be a wonderful week to um, do something artistic with our emotions, to paint or to dance or to sing, to listen to music, and just be in that playful, creative mode of the abundance theme. Okay, what else do we have? Of course, we see that the sun is in the sign of Leo, and at the beginning of the week it's at 5 degrees Leo, and it will move towards Mercury. Mercury is still retrograde, so we still experience that reflective time of looking at communication. How do we want to communicate? And how do we come across when we communicate? I also want to mention this week the Sabian symbols. Now, the Sabian symbols are 360 symbols that were channeled by a couple. Um, Actually, he was an astrologer, Mark Jones, and Elsie Wheeler was a medium. And together they worked in creating the Sabian symbol system, which are 360 images related to each degree of the zodiac. Because when we look at the zodiac, when we look at the astrological chart, we know that it consists of 360 degrees. Now, Elsie Wheeler and Mark Edmund Jones, they created this system that applied one channeled image to each degree of the zodiac. And there's a lot of wisdom in each image. So when you are looking at a planetary position, for example, Venus moving in the first degree of Cancer, we can look at the Sabian symbol of this first degree of Cancer. Now, here we see that the Sabian symbol that connects with the first degree of Cancer is an image of a ship that the sailor lowers an old flag and raises a new one. And this is symbolic for removing the old energy and bringing up a new energy. So it's a radical change. It's the point of no return, where you can see that the old energy will be stopped and the new life can begin. And this is very much in tune, of course, with the harvest season, where the seed is being collected as a promise for the new life to be carried. And you could explore the Sabian symbols to see how the sun in your personal chart is related to the Sabian symbols, and which image is reflected by that. And there are many websites. You can just Google Sabian symbols, and it's like an oracle, I guess. So you can look up each degree of the zodiac and see what degree is your sun and your moon. And what we usually do is, when, for example, the sun is at 8.5 degree in Leo, you look at the ninth degree Leo in the Sabian symbol. So you always look at 1 degree after, because when a planet is in a certain position, it's never, well, rarely on exact the 0 degree, like 8.0 degree Leo. So what we often do is we look at 1 degree after that. Okay. Um, well, I hope you will have some fun in playing with those Sabian symbols and to explore your chart with the Sabian symbols. And you can create a list, of course, and you can write down all the the poetic lines that are being channeled with these images, and to tune into the energy of these images. Like, what does it reflect of your chart? What does it show of your chart? It often shows a deeper layer of the natal chart. And I think the Sabian symbols are not only used to give an extra dimension of the natal chart, but also for the transits. So you can also use this transit chart, for example, and see what are the Sabian symbols related to the chart of this week. Okay, have some fun with it, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you.